know, when I speak at this church, one of the things I love about this church is we have so many beautiful people who have such beautiful vibrations. So please give yourselves a hand because you inspire me. We have a lot to do today. This is a topic that has been dwelling in my spirit, and we've been sort of working around it. A few weeks ago we talked about it's never too late to be great. And that was really a foundation for today's message, which is to rewrite your story. And so those of you in this room, I know that you're going to get a personal chance not only to rewrite it, but to feel it as the vibration moves around the room. And those of you online, I want you to pay attention. I want you to get a pen and pad. I want you to take notes, because this could be your chance to transform your life from what it is to what you want it to be. So, special welcome to our guests. I couldn't see the new people who are here for the first time. All right, but thank you. Let's give them a hand. Thank you. And those of you who come back again and again, I want you to keep doing it. And I'd love you to become a member of this spiritual center. And say, what does a member mean? A member means you're on the inside. You're a part of all the good stuff going on. And we love to have you a part of that. This is the second Sunday of the 8th month. Can you believe it? This year, as they say, is just boogieing right on down the road. I mean, it's going by so fast, it's hard to keep up. I also want to send out healing blessings. You know, Lainey is doing well with her surgery. You know, she sounds so strong on the phone. I'm like, are you sure? You've been in the hospital? But she's doing well, and Marcia's having great success with her healing. And I want to send out healing blessings to each and every one of you. Those of you in the sanctuary and those of you online. Just for a moment, just take a deep breath. And feel that power of healing, that power of clarity, that power that touches each and every cell in your body to make it whole. Today's lesson, by the way, is part of really 3. You know, Reverend Ellen is watching the eclipse is in Spain. So she and Jose have gone there on vacation. And so for the next 3 Sundays, you got me. And I want to, thank you. I'm going to call it Transformation Sundays. So we have 3 lessons, and I want you to just be here for everyone and bring somebody back. I want to set up 2 more rows of chairs, and you all can make it happen. So today's transformation message is rewrite your story. Life is a chapter, a book, and every day is another chapter. Every moment is another page, and you have the power to rewrite it the way you want it to be. And then next Sunday, the 16th, we're going to talk about who do you need to become. This whole message of growth and possibilities is really not about things. Sometimes we get confused about this idea of success. You know, no, it's about growth. It's about who you must become to feel and experience your full potential. And then the third lesson in this series on August 23rd is called Designing the Next Chapter of Your Life. That you have the power. The third principle of unity is that we co-create the world along with God. We are really the fingers of God. We are the Spirit of God manifested in human form. And so we co-create the world along with God. And this message today, this series is about how you can create the world that you want to live in, doing the things you want to do, being the person you want to be, and touching and having impact that the world needs you to have this day. So let us roll on. I love to start with our a healing affirmation. I'll say, how do you feel today? And you answer, healed. How do you feel today? Healed. Let's say it loud enough that the people down the street can be healed. How do you feel today? Healed. Our other affirmation which sets us up is this one. I'll say it, you repeat after me. Today is the most magnificent day of my life.
Today is the most magnificent day of my life.
Health. Wealth. Happiness. Love. Success. Prosperity. And abundance. Come to me. Every day. Let's sink in. I recommend you get in front of your mirror and you holler that affirmation to the top of your lungs. It sure helped my life in New York when I was broke. I tell you, life is funny. Has anybody ever been broke? Okay. I call it now, rather, because broke is a state of consciousness. Has anybody been between funds? But when I was between funds, I wanted to become magnetic and attract abundance into my life. And one of the things I did, I had lost my house, and I had an apartment that was on the 4th floor. And so I'm like, how can I make this an apartment of joy and abundance? So I painted the whole thing green. Everything was green. I even painted the tub, got some of that spray enamel green. My aunt came and said, what are you doing? I said, I want to attract money. But you know what? With the affirmation that I just gave you, so every day I stand up in front of my mirror. Today is the most magnificent day of my life. Health, wealth, happiness, and I shout it out. And you know, the neighbors were not that excited about it. They told my landlord, I don't know what he's doing in there. He's got something going on. But guess what? Within a year, I bought the building. I bought that building, and there was one neighbor that I was just waiting to put him out. So this thought today of rewriting our story. Sometimes you look back on your life and you say, man, if I had made a different decision, how different my life could have been if I'd started sooner. You know, at 82, I'm like, man, I wish I'd started sooner. But guess what? It doesn't matter. Sometimes you say, if I had another chance, you got another chance. Some people believe that the best chapters of their life are already written. But I have news for you today. The best is yet to come. Let's say that together. The best is yet to come. So as long as you're alive, your story is still being written. You know, one of the great writers, Neville Goddard, has a whole passage, I think, in his one of his books. But he talks about the fact that life is a great play. And we're like the star actor in the play. We're the supporting actor in the play. We're the producer. We're the director. We're all the characters in the play of life because we have the ability to create our lives exactly the way we want it to be. And so today we don't have to, something is different from yesterday. It's not that circumstances have become perfect. It's just that life has new possibilities. It's that today we have a recognition and a realization that through the God consciousness, we can create our lives any way we want to. There's a great scripture. I'm a scripture person. I like to use the Bible as a spiritual text. And in the book of Isaiah, it says something. It says, behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? So every sunrise is God's reminder that life is another chance. Even every night when the sun goes down, it's a reminder that it's time to rest so that you can be strong another day. And not only that, though, you know, we write your story many times during life. And when I left Wilmington, North Carolina at 16, I think that's the first time I rewrote my story. I left Wilmington. I went to Williston, the school that David knows about Williston. That it was in the days of segregation. It was the period in which all of the teachers and principals, everybody was black. And we had a different vibration in school. And I'd gotten a scholarship to go to Columbia University at 16. And skipped the 12th grade. They said I was so smart, get him out of here. So I get to Columbia and I had a realization. Half the class was from Bronx High School of Science, or Erasmus, or was it Stuyvesant, the top high schools in the country. And here I come from Williston Senior High School. It wasn't even on the map to compete. And that was the first time I had to rewrite my story, because the story that I was projected into said that you got no chance. You come from a segregated school, you got a second-class education, you're not smart, you're gonna fail. And of the 5 kids out of 725, there were 5 young men of color, and only 2 of us survived and completed it and graduated. But that was that first thing of rewriting my story. Because I said, I'm gonna rewrite my story, but not only that, you gotta do something when you rewrite it. So I said, I'm gonna take a course and learn how to read faster. I'm gonna take a course and learn how to study better. I'm gonna commit myself to study every hour of the day. I'm either sleeping, studying, or in class. That new story that I wrote for myself carried me through. And so there are 4 keys to help you. And I guarantee many of you, how many folks have rewritten your story a few times? Just a few. Say, many times. But you know that you get better at it. Once you've had a couple of victories and you've written that story again, you're like, okay, bring it on. I see the trouble, but I know I can handle it. I know I can handle it. Let's say that together. I know I can handle it. So there are 4 principles that you can really use to rewrite your story, your life story, at any age and after any circumstances. Whether you've lost everything, sometimes you're flying high. Many times, we often forget when you're flying high, sometimes you need to rewrite that story too. Because you forget why. You forget gratitude. You think you did it. Oh, I'm smart as one. I worked hard. No. The God mind gave you the opportunity. So number 1 is to accept that you are the author of the next chapter of your life. I am responsibility for my life. Let's say that together. I am responsible for my life. And the caveat to that is stop reading the old chapters. Can you imagine reading the same chapter of a book every day? And then wonder why nothing's happening in your life. Okay. So some people live their lives like that. They'll read a chapter called divorce. I have a friend divorced 20 years ago and she's still complaining. Her husband's been through 3 wives. And she's still stuck. I'm like, let it go. Sometimes you get stuck on rejection. Somebody didn't approve of what you were trying to do. You didn't get somebody's approval, and as a result, you stay stuck. Well, my message is, these are just chapters in your life. These are not your entire life. So rewrite that chapter. When they say, why is this happening to me? You say, bring it on. There's a lesson. When they say, it's too late, you say, compared to what? As long as you have breath, as long as you have breath, you have possibilities. Breath is prana. Prana is energy. So as long as you're breathing, you're still in the game. As long as I have breath, I have possibilities. Let's say that together. As long as I have breath, I have possibilities. Step 2, rewrite your story yourself. You know, all of us have the opportunity to rewrite our story. As children, you know, the story was sort of written for us. There's a mindset that as a child, they wrote a certain program. It's almost like living in the Matrix. I love that movie, The Matrix, because we're all in a matrix. Different times, different seasons, but we're all in a matrix. And a matrix is a mindset of thought, emotions, actions, relationships. So we all live in that. So we might have come up with a family that didn't understand how to love. A lot of people don't know how to love. And I look back on my life and I have some questions about my mother. Like, I don't know if she knew how to love. She knew how to take good care. She was a great provider. But I don't know if she really knew how to love in a way that connected with me at that time. Okay. You know, many times as children, we interpret stuff in a very simplistic way. We may interpret love and spell it T-I-M-E. So we don't understand a mother who has 3 jobs. who there's nobody there to watch. I was the only child. We didn't have a latchkey. We didn't have a lock. Didn't need one. So that idea, now rewrite your story and tell your story. Tell yourself good things about yourself. You are not who you used to be. So instead of a story that says, I failed, you change the narrative to, I learned. My uncle used to say, as many times as you fail, you should be the smartest guy in the world. Change that narrative to say you're too old. I hear that a lot. I don't like going to class reunions because everybody's talking about, man, I got high blood pressure, I got diabetes, I got a pacemaker. Another fellow, I got a pacemaker and a defibrillator. What you got, Herb? I got to get out of here. So instead of saying I made too many mistakes, you change that narrative and say, God's not finished with me yet. Oh, thank you so much, Teresa. Wow. Wow, right on time. Wow. Give her a hand. So when we write our story, we choose what to say about ourselves. So we can say, I am healthy. Let's say that. I am healthy.
I am healthy.
I am happy.
I am happy.
I'm full of life.
I'm full of life.
I have infinite possibilities.
I have infinite
I live in abundance.
I live in abundance.
You see, when you write the story that you want to be, you're in control. The third key, make new decisions. You see, once you write the story has to have feet. You got the vision written down. This is write the vision, make it plain in the book of Habakkuk. But it goes on to say that he may run that readeth it. So the story's got to have feet, and that means that where you go now that you're writing this new story depends on the decisions you make. And the decision is just a choice plus an action. Once you make a choice, and then you take action on it, that's a decision. And so now make new decisions. Noah decided to build an ark. Even Moses, think about it, Moses had been a prince in the kingdom, then he had to leave town and he became a shepherd for 40 years, but then he made a decision to go back and lead his people out of Egypt. So everything begins with a decision. So your prayer is, help me make better decisions. Let us say that together. Help me make better decisions. And you know, decisions can be profound. It may be a decision to go on and write that book, to tell your story. Not because you want to make a lot of money, but because somebody needs to hear your message. Somebody needs to know that somebody got through it. A decision might be to repair a relationship. That's a heavy one. That's a real heavy one. But as long as that relationship is not repaired, it's hanging there. And the moment you forgive, and definitely, they say forgive and forget. I don't know if that's intelligent. Forgive and move on. But the thought is that one decision can change your entire life. So make now the decisions that are congruent with that new you that you've written about. That new vision of yourself. And then finally, number 4, live your new story every day. You see, you don't rewrite your life in one day. You rewrite it one day at a time. I'm going to say that again. You don't rewrite your life in one day. You rewrite it one day at a time. Tiny actions bring about incredible results. They say the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So read 10 pages a day. Start with 2 push-ups. Okay? I always used to overestimate. I'm going to go do 50 push-ups. I hit 5 and I'm with it. But do those things. Create a rhythm for the new version of you. Create a rhythm and a system. So do your prayers every day. Do your meditation every day. Do the things necessary to support that vision, that new you that you're writing about, and it will manifest. Lots of people have done it. Colonel Sanders at 65, or Sanders said, he'd been trying to sell his chicken wings for 30 years. And finally he hit it. Grandma Moses started painting in her 70s. I started playing and singing in my 70s. Wait till you see me next year. I'm going to be on what's the one, America's Got Talent? I still am. They're going to be sitting there going. But so many people have done it, and that may be why you need to tell your story. I guarantee that each and every one of you has overcome something incredible that can help somebody else. To start thinking now of impact rather than income. Start thinking of significance rather than success. And when you use that as a guide, you'll be able to rewrite your story and put it to work. So, let me give you 4 little steps to make it happen. Because if I give you a message, I got to give you some tips. Number 1, write down the old story that you've been telling yourself. Maybe you said, I'm a loser, I'm heartbreaking, nobody loves. Write it down. You remember the ceremony we used to do, write all the negative things needed to burn it? Remember we had the burning bowl that time and the ashes came up on my shoulder? But write down that old story so you know what's been holding you back. Then second, write the new story. The new you. Write the new thoughts that you will be experiencing. Write the new emotions. Go from fear to faith. Write the new habits. Now you're going to put your clothes out every night the night before so you don't have to be rushing in the morning. Now you're going to organize your day so you can get things done. Third, make one decision that moves you towards that new story. It may be to call that person and say, look, I forgive you. I don't know why you're upset with me, but whatever it is, I did it and I forgive you. Please forgive me. Every time I've done that, it's worked profoundly. Because the person said, I've been waiting for this for years. Well, I'm a little late, but I'm here. And then finally, take one action every day. That this message today, to really get the impact of it, to go out and take one action every day for 30 days. And over that 30 days, you will create the rhythm that gives legs to the new you. You will create a system that supports you along the way. And you will put yourself at a level of health happiness, love, success, prosperity, and abundance that you've been seeking. Would you like that to happen?
Yes.
That sounds kind of weird. Would you like that to happen?
Yes.
Stand up, let's close out together. Whee! What a day. Here we go. I'll say it, you repeat after me. The best chapter of my life is still unwritten.
The best chapter of my life is still unwritten.
I pick up the pen.
I pick up the pen.
I trust God.
I trust God.
I believe in myself.
I believe in myself.
And today,
I
write my story.
write my story.
When? Today. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. Give yourselves a hand. You may be seated.